Well, hello again and welcome back. And in this video, we are taking a closer look at the Quantum VWAP Pro indicator, and in particular, the anchored version, the AVWAP, which is one of 5. The workspace is one I've used in the previous videos for this particular variant of the VWAP. And I've moved to futures here, and I said in the last video I wouldn't use an index future because it would be very much the same as the SPY. So I've moved over to light crude oil futures contract, which I haven't done for a while. So certainly in terms of the videos for these examples at any rate. So I thought it'd be interesting to look at crude oil anyway. Across the top, we've got the 15-minute, 30-minute, and the 1 hour. Down the bottom, we've got the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frames. And the indicator works in precisely the same way, whichever time frame you are looking at. Let's just pop this one open full size. This is on the 15-minute. There we go. And as I say, you can anchor your VWAP wherever you choose. You choose where it starts, not the indicator itself. And to do it, you can do it one of 2 ways. It's very, very simple. Just click on the settings here, settings cogwheel up on the top left under the indicator itself. Here we are, you see we have the AVWAP, and here are other variants, the VWAP, which is the core product, if you like, which works on an intraday basis, but always resets at the start of the new session. And therefore, what the anchor gives you is complete flexibility in where you want to start. So that's the VWAP. We've got the anchor, we've got the moving volume weighted average price, which moves across the sessions using a moving average based approach. We've got the time weighted average price, which is based purely on time. And then we've got the intraday VWAP, which works on the much lower time frames only of the daily, weekly, and the monthly. Now, while I've got this window open, I can show you down at the bottom here, you've got the AVWAP start, date, and time. So we have this little calendar, and we have a little clock. And you can choose the precise bar that you wish to go to. When you scroll along the bottom, I'll just click that off for a moment. When you scroll along the bottom here, the little box below you tells you exactly the date and time of each candle. So you can reference it that way. I'll just click that back on again. So you can do it that way, absolutely fine, no problem at all. But there's a much, much easier way of doing it. And it's this little fellow here. We get this vertical line on the chart when we click on the settings, and it comes up with this little handle. And when we hover over the handle, we get this horizontal bar with the arrows left and right. And if you left click and hold, you can drag the start of the VWAP to whatever point you wish to begin your analysis. So if you wanted to start here, we just drag it over there and drop it. And if we want to move it somewhere else, we just drag and drop. It is literally as simple as that. Beautiful move there. Bouncing off the VWAP itself, which I've referenced many, many times before in these videos. This is what you will see a lot of, because this is our fair value price, I think, is one description I would use. It's very much like the VPOC, which I have used in several other videos as an example, if you will, where price oscillates, and it's the same sort of principle here, where the VWAP itself is the measure of perhaps of what is a fair price. So once we're getting above that fair price and strongly above it, as far as our outer envelopes are concerned, which act as support on the way up, then at that point, and obviously this is combined with volume. Volume is everything. It is our trigger for getting in, it's our trigger for staying in, and it's our trigger for getting out. It's as simple as that. We use volume price analysis in conjunction with the VWAP. And if we're getting up here into upper levels where potentially the contract or the stock or the ETF, whatever it is potentially overpriced or oversold, however you want to consider it, or overweight, then that has the potential for a reversal. And equally to the downside, when we get down below here, then you're looking at the opportunity to take a long position or to take a position in the market to take advantage of a rally, if you like, from a low position. And that's what we're looking at constantly. And what we're seeing here, certainly in terms of the oil contract, we had a ton of volume coming in here, and we've got a big 2-bar reversal here. We've got more signs of weakness here with this big wick to the upper body, good volume under there as well. We've got a long-legged doji in there. So at the very least, we're looking at congestion with the potential for a reversal. Now, if you've ridden this up on the contract rise, on the contract rally up to, where are we, $81, $60 a barrel, then there is the potential now for a full-blown reversal. But of course, all of that will be dictated by volume. We'd also, if we were looking at it on an intraday perspective, we'd be certainly looking at the 5-minute, maybe the 10-minute, maybe even down to the faster time frame still, and be using the VWAP across all those time horizons in addition. So that's how we use the indicator, and we set it according to the point that we want to reference and not that the indicator tells us as such. So it's so simple with this little handle. Really is very, very cool on TradingView. That's on the 15, and everything else works in the same way. And you can see instantly we've got a ton of volume coming in here under this big shooting star candle there, really just confirming what we were seeing on the 15-minute time frame. But in terms of moving our VWAP, our anchored VWAP, we just click on that, click that off because we don't need that anymore. And here we are. Here's our little handle, and we might want to move that perhaps a little bit closer. Maybe we want to move it, could move it to there, for example, or maybe that's a little bit too close for us. Perhaps we move it down here, maybe better. So as I say, it's all down to you. There's a 2-bar reversal here as well, so perhaps we want to pop it on there. I think I prefer it down here. Let's come off this low and see where if we're building up to a high here. Massive shooting star candle here. Absolute raft of volume gone into that one. And if this shapes up into a 2-bar reversal as well, then that potentially is signaling also that we really are going to see a reversal. Down to the VWAP, and obviously we want to see it go through there. We want to see good volume on any bearish trend for this particular future intraday. We want to see rising volume and obviously be looking at it across the slower time frames as well. So that's on the hour. That was the 30, beg your pardon. There we go, up onto the hourly. Pop that up full size. Let's pull that down a little bit. It's right up at the top there. And principle's exactly the same. Let's click on the cog to get our little handle come up, our little vertical line. That's where we are at the moment. Do we want to move it? Yeah, probably. That looks like an interesting candle there. Tons of volume. No surprise to see the rally that we're seeing at the moment. And now we're seeing a ton of volume coming in under here. So perhaps we are starting to witness the reversal back lower as well, as we've seen on the faster time frames. Nice trend rising on the upper envelopes and the VWAP itself, well away from the upper envelope too. So again, as a signal, it really overreached and extended itself well beyond this support level. So again, another reason for a potential opportunity to reverse. Let's now move down onto the dailies. I've just, there we go. It's all a bit compressed there, isn't it? So let's just widen that out a little bit, make it a bit easier on the eye. But the same principle again. We just click on the cog, get our little handle up, left click, and then we can drag it, hold our mouse wherever we want to move it to. That's not a bad position to be in, to be honest there. Yeah, I mean, we've got a nice platform of support, and that was our last 2-bar reversal, if you like, at that point. So yeah, not so bad. We might want to move it a little bit higher maybe. And those are the decisions you take. It's all down to you, and it depends on the time frame you're looking at. There we are, pop it back over there. So that's on the daily. Let's move over on to the weekly. Here we are. Let's see what's going on in terms of the week. Quite compressed in here. Let's just click on that. And where we move it to, well, it's quite flat really. So, but as you can see, what's interesting here is, just expand it out a little bit. There we go. What's interesting here, of course, is that we are now coming up to what in the past has been quite a significant level of resistance on the weekly time frame. So that will certainly be significant to any potential move through, which would require good, strong volume, or a reversal off that, as we've seen in the past here and also here. So this is a very, very important level up at just beyond, I think it's about 81.50, something like that. So $81.50 a barrel. That is going to be a very important level for the future medium to longer term price of oil, which of course is governed by many other things, not least supply and demand, not least OPEC and all the other good things that go with oil. And we're in the summer driving season as well in the US as I'm recording this. And finally, just drop down onto the monthly for completeness. This, of course, was COVID, massive volatility and huge reversals as well, with tons of volume coming in. So no great surprise there. Lovely big upthrust candle here, followed by a 2-bar reversal. So probably that's the point which you really want to reference more than any other. Just click it on there to get our handle. Left click, drag, slide it over. You might pop it up there. There we are. And just gives us reference, just tells us where we are. Where's the price of oil at the moment? Well, it's coming up to test the VWAP, certainly on this particular time frame. Just going to expand that up a little. There we are. And there you are. You can see where we are right now. We are coming back to the VWAP itself, having seen this sustained fall in the price of oil on the monthly time horizon. So I hope you've enjoyed this particular video with the anchored VWAP, which is our third variant. We've looked at the VWAP itself. We've looked at the moving volume weighted average price, and this is the anchored, which gives you great flexibility. You select where you start the calculation from, not the indicator. So I hope you've enjoyed this particular video. Lots more to come, as always, in this series and many others. So see you soon, and bye for now.